Here is my Dragonfly project. We could just run it, I guess. So it opens up the window and is currently running a test, which will spawn 3 saucers and then delete 2 of them. So the one on the screen is the one that's not being deleted. That can be seen in the log file, how 3 of them are inserted and then only 2 of them are removed. We can also go into the test and then actually just remove or comment out the 2 other deletions, and then when we run it, we have the 3 saucers that were created on the screen. The game's only running for 200 ticks right now, which I can change here in the loop count, so we'll make it run a little longer. And then actually we can go in here and we'll stop running the test and we'll just use the populate world. So we can make a new saucer in that, and then we'll run it again. Cool. So yeah, and that's gonna run longer because I just 10x'd the amount of loops. And yeah, the saucers have a little bit of velocity in both directions, just so it moves across the screen. We can end this and then go back in here. See all the loops. So it goes to 2000. Or I stopped it short, so it doesn't go all the way to 2000. But you can also, we'll change it back to we'll change it back to like 500 loops. So it's not as long. But if I run it now, I can come here, I can click, I can press keys on the keyboard. And then once this is done, we can go into a log file and it reports when I click a button like a mouse click, or just press in like a key. So key released and key pressed, both come into the log. Here we'll start on the log manager. You can see we have the constructor and the destructor. Then we have the startup function that prints if it is successful at starting up, or prints if it has an error if it fails to start up. We also have the shutdown function that tells you if the log is shut down. And then at the bottom, you can see the write log function, which allows us to write to the log file. In this case, the file is our dragonfly.log file. Heading over to clock.cpp, we have a function to get the current time, then the delta, which gets the change in time or the time elapsed, and then the split, which is similar to delta but doesn't reset the previous time. Then in our game manager, it starts everything up and shuts everything down. This includes input manager, display manager, world manager, and log manager. Then in the run function, it starts the game loop. So while the game is not over, it's running the game, taking inputs, and updating the world manager, and things like that. Moving over to the world manager, beyond the startup and shutdown, which is similar to most of the other classes, we have the ability to manipulate objects. So we can add them with the insert object function, remove them, and get a list of objects, as well as get a list of specific objects, so objects of a certain type. Then we can also move objects and manage collisions, among other things. Then we'll head over to the display manager, where we are basically just controlling the display. In the header file, we define all the dimensions of the window, such as the height, width, and how many characters will fit on the screen. We also have the draw functions, so we can draw both characters and strings on the screen at specified X and Y coordinates, as well as set the color of those characters. So this is how right now we're drawing the saucers or circles on the screen that you saw previously. Finally, we'll head over to the input manager. This allows the user to interact with the game, so it takes both inputs from keyboard and mouse. As demonstrated in the first part of the video, the input manager records when a key is pressed, released, or when a mouse button is clicked or released. So yeah, that's pretty much it.